Hello viewers, welcome to my YouTube channel. I still remember my humble self, MC Bernardino. Thank you very much for always coming back to this YouTube channel. Alright, you want to come into Canada in 2020? Is your resolution coming to Canada in 2020? You want to know how? On today's episode, I will be telling you what are the ways that you can come into Canada in 2020, how you can go about it, what are the different methods. There are different ways you can migrate to Canada. So I'll be telling you how you can actually achieve your goal, your resolution come 2020 about coming into Canada. So you want to stay tuned, hang on tight, call your friends, call everybody around you, because today's episode is actually loaded as usual. So hang on, stay tuned, I will be back.
Shall we begin? Let's begin now.
Welcome back. So let me quickly tell you the giveaway that I promised, the video I did like 2 weeks back about the giveaway. I will be picking the 3 randomly selected winner on an episode I will be doing on the 31st of December. So don't think, guys, probably you might be thinking I might have forgotten you. You know I haven't. So if you haven't commented, feel free to go and comment on the video. Because on 31st, that's when I'll be doing the draw. So don't be left out if you haven't done that. Go and do it now. Alright, so still on today's episode, Canada Immigration 2020. Is your resolution coming into Canada in 2020? Yes, I can actually help you achieve that by dishing out this information. There are numerous ways you can actually migrate into Canada. Let me quickly tell you this. Do you know that China's population is close to 1.4 billion? India is closely followed by 1.3 billion. US is 326 million if I'm not mistaken. Russia is like 144 million. Nigeria in Africa is close to 200 million. What is the population of Canada? Canada is just 37.5 million. And don't forget that in terms of landmass, after Russia, Canada has the second landmass. So that means that Canada has a landmass, but the population as compared to the landmass, it's relatively low. The population is just 37.5 million. So that shows that Canada is actually looking out for people. And that was why for the 2020 Canada government, the immigration department, they forecasted by come 2020 they want to bring in over 360,000 immigrants to Canada. So don't be left out. So if you want to migrate to Canada, 2020 might be the best time for you to plan for it. So guys, I will be telling you the different modalities for you to come into Canada. Alright, so I'll be breaking this into 2 parts. Migrating to Canada temporarily and migrating to Canada through permanent means. So when I talk about temporary means, the first one I'll be telling you about is you can actually migrate to Canada in 2020 through visitor's visa. I've done a lot of video about how you can apply for visitor's visa, what are the requirements, what are the documents you need. Guys, you can actually go to my previous video. I've done a video on that. But just to quickly recap, the first one I'm telling you about is the visitor's visa. So all you have to do is just make sure you go online, go to the Canada immigration website, which I'll be linking in this video, apply for visitor's visa. And you can do that online or you can do that through paper application. You have to, don't forget that you have to apply through your visa office. Make sure you have all the necessary documents, pay the application fee, provide all the necessary documents. One important thing that you need to include in your application for visitor's visa is that you need to be able to convince the immigration officer that you will be reverting back home when you're done visiting. Don't forget that you can't overstay your visitor's visa and you can't stay beyond 6 months. But that's a very good avenue for you to migrate into Canada. So that's why I said come 2020 you can actually come into Canada through visitor's visa. If you want to get more information about that, go to my previous video on how you can apply for your visitor's visa and you will be glad you did that. Still talking about temporary visa to Canada. Do you know that you can also migrate into Canada come 2020 through study permits? Study permits. Like I told you earlier on that, I've only been telling you, I migrated into Canada through study permits in 2014. And when I came in temporarily, now I'm permanently in Canada. I'm a permanent resident in Canada. It worked for me, it can actually work for you. So set this goal for yourself. Come 2020, apply for study permits. How do you go about applying for the study permits? What are the requirements? Guys, you can do this by yourself. You don't need anybody. You don't have to pay any representative to do this for you. I can give you guidance, counseling on how you can go about it. So you have to take the bull by the horn now. You don't have to wait for anybody. Apply for the study permit. All you need to apply to the school. Make sure that the school you're applying to is a designated learning institution. Apply, pay your tuition fee, full tuition fee if you have it, half, whatever you have, it's better you pay part of it. Show you have a lot of money in your account. Shows proof to ties to back home. convince the immigration in the letter that you're going to write that when you're done studying, you'll be reverting back home. These are the opportunities, these are the chances, these are improving your chances of getting your study permit. And if you come into Canada through study permit, you can actually from there metamorphose to become a permanent resident by applying for the express entry or provincial nominee. So study permit is another avenue for you to migrate into Canada. Now let's talk about the third one, which is the work permit. You can also apply, come into Canada, come 2020 through the work permit. How do you do that? Take for instance, if you're married and your spouse is in Canada, you can apply for, your spouse can apply for open work permit for the other spouse back home, wherever he or she is. And that's another avenue for you to come into Canada. And even if you're not married, you can also tap into some organizations that are advertising, look for jobs online, like through Zip Recruiters, apply for jobs in Canada, and if the organization sees your resume, interviews you, and discover that you are the best fit for the position, they can actually invite you over to Canada, and you come into Canada through work permit. And when you come into Canada through work permit, before you know it, you can apply for your permanent resident, and you become a permanent resident in Canada. So I've just told you about visitors visa, study permit, and work permit. These are avenues for you to come into Canada. Despite it might be temporary initially, but you can make it permanent. Let's go into the second part, which is coming to Canada through the permanent source. Now, the first one I'll be telling you about is the express entry. I've been overflogging this over and over again, guys. Express entry is a very good avenue for you to come into Canada on a permanent base, and you don't have to worry yourself too much. I've done numerous videos on how you can apply for your express entries. Guys, go and watch my previous videos on that. But let me quickly dissect and summarize what I meant by express entry. First, I will subdivide it into three parts. The first one is under express entry, you can actually apply for those that are outside Canada. You can apply for the federal skilled workers class. That's the FSWC, Federal Skilled Workers class. That simply means that the only thing you need is your previous work experience from wherever you are outside Canada. That is the only avenue for you to come into Canada. That's the only leverage for you to come into Canada. With your previous skills, with your educational knowledge, your test of English, proficiency in English, these are what you need to combine together, and cumulatively you get your score. And with that, they do draw bi-weekly, sometimes weekly, and if you're chosen, you are invited to come in to apply for your permanent resident, and before you know it, 3-4 months down the line, you are given your permanent resident and you are in Canada. This is a very, very smooth path for you to come into Canada. I know it can be very tasky in terms of people struggling with their English, people having problem with their words, translation of their result and things like that. But guys, set this goal for yourself. Come Canada, come 2020. If your determination is for you to come into Canada, set this goal for yourself and make sure you work towards it. This is a very good opportunity for you to come to. So if you're not using the federal skilled, for those that are outside, if you are in Canada, probably you studied in Canada or you find yourself in Canada, you can actually use the CEC, which is the Canadian Experience class. All you have to do is work for a minimum of 1 year in Canada. And you can apply for permanent resident. Guys, it's not just any old job, guys. Don't forget that your job needs to be in either NOC code OA or B. C and D is not allowed in express entry. So with NOC OA or B, if you have the job, your employer will write the a letter for you, that a reference letter for you, stating that you work there, how much you got, your position, the description of your role, these things, information like this. Add it to your proof of fund and other things, the other documents you have, your test of English, things like that. You can apply for your permanent resident. So I've talked about the federal skilled, I've talked about the Canadian experience class. The third one is the federal skilled trade class. Yes, those that learn trade, probably you didn't go to the university, you actually learn trade, electrician, plumber, mechanic, whatever trade that you must have learned. There's also a route for you to come into Canada. Isn't that great? So you are not left out of this too. You can also migrate into Canada through your work experience, what you've done in the past, whatever trade you've learned in the past. Guys, go and make additional research on this. I'm just trying to summarize the different routes you can use to come into Canada. So guys, go and make additional research on that. I've done previous videos on these, guys. Feel free to go into my archives. You'll get additional information on this. Also, in addition, guys, do you know that you can also migrate into Canada through the home child care program? If you're a child care provider outside Canada, wherever you are. I know a lot of my Filipinos friends that use this avenue to come into Canada. So guys, if you're a child caregiver, I mean, you have a certification in that, you can take care of elderly. I mean, if you have that certificate as a child caregiver, you can also migrate into Canada. This is an avenue. Just go to CIC website, type in caregiver, you'll get the lowdown. The resources are there on how you can actually apply to come into Canada. So guys, you are not left out. Caregiver, you can also migrate and come into Canada. In addition to this, do you know about the Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program that is being run by Canada? I mean, the provinces that are in the Atlantic, like New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island, Newfoundland, and Labrador. The provinces that are in the Atlantic, they are also running this Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program, which allow people to migrate into Canada. That's another avenue, guys, that you can use to migrate into Canada. So you don't really have to rely so much on express entry, provincial nominee, or work permit. You have there are so many avenues that you can use to migrate into Canada. Guys, don't forget that in this video I'm just summarizing the different avenues for you to come into Canada. If you want more knowledge on this, guys, feel free to do your own additional research. I will be linking to website on how you can get more information on what I've just told you in the description below. And guys, don't forget, if you have anything you're not clear about, any additional information you need, guys, drop it in the comment section below. I am here to oblige you guys. I'm here to give you all the information you need. Now, in addition to that, there's this program that was also launched in 2019 by Canada Immigration, which is called the Rural and Northern Immigration Pilot Program. I've done a video on that, guys. Go and watch it. Rural and Northern Immigration Pilot Program. This program is being tested with 11 communities in Canada. So guys, all you have to do is go to these communities, go to their website, apply for jobs, make your intention known, upload your resume, look for job, apply for it. And if you're so lucky, if you're interviewed and they like you and they feel that you're qualified for the position, from there they can invite you to come into Canada. And here you come. So guys, that is another avenue for you to migrate into Canada. Last but not the least, another program that you can use to migrate to Canada will be the Agri-Food Immigration Pilot Program. So those that you have knowledge in the agricultural sector, there's also an avenue for you to migrate into Canada through this means. Maybe agricultural, you have a degree in agricultural science, horticulture, whatever you have it, guys. This is also another avenue. Or you have experience, you've been working in a farm, whatever certificate that you can use to prove that, guys. As far as you are in the agricultural sector, you can also migrate into Canada. Guys, information is key, and that's why I decided in this episode I'll be giving this information to you guys, so that you don't just be looking in one direction alone. You guys get to know that there are numerous directions that you can use to migrate into Canada come 2020. Alright viewers, I hope you've been enjoying this, guys. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, guys, you're just new on this YouTube channel, feel free to subscribe to this YouTube channel, guys. Hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video. Share this video with your loved ones. For those that have been sharing my videos, guys, kudos to you guys. Without you, this channel is absolutely nothing. Thank you very much. Alright guys, another way you can use to migrate into Canada permanently is through the Provincial Nominee Program. Guys, I've done tons and tons of videos on Provincial Nominee. I remember I've done video on Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, Ontario Provincial Nominee, Manitoba Provincial Nominee, guys, Alberta Provincial Nominee. Guys, these are also avenues for people to migrate into Canada. Just recently, Saskatchewan invited over 400 people to migrate into Canada. Guys, you can't be left out come 2020. I mean, these are avenues. You don't have to just continue to look at one direction alone. Study. Man, the rejection rate in 2019 was alarming, guys. So you can still continue to dwell on study alone, guys. Provincial Nominee is another avenue for you to migrate into Canada. Guys, look into all these provinces. We have 10 provinces and 3 territories in Canada. So these 10 provinces are also running their Provincial Nominee, guys. Some of them are devoid of express entry, while some of them involve express entry. So guys, don't waste your time. Look into these provincial nominees, guys. These are avenues for you to migrate into Canada. If you need additional information, I'll be providing it in the link to this video. And also watch my previous video, guys. You will be glad you did that. Still talking about the modalities for you to migrate into Canada. Another way you can come into Canada is spouse sponsorship. Probably the husband is here or the wife is here and the other half is back home, wherever outside Canada. You can also sponsor your spouse to come into Canada. Guys, all you need to do is that you need to be able to prove that you are capable of taking care of your spouse. You need to be able to prove that the person you want to sponsor, this your spouse, you guys actually have any relationship, your wedding certificate, anything that you can use to show the connection, relationship between you guys. You need to prove that. Your financial strength, you need to show that too, guys. You can also sponsor your spouse to come into Canada. That's another avenue for you to come into Canada. In addition to this, guys, you can also sponsor your grandparent, your parent to come into Canada. I did a video recently on how you can sponsor your parent, your grandparent to come into Canada. Guys, don't be left out of this, guys. Because in Canada, as a couple, you're working, your spouse is working, you have your kids to take care of. Who is going to take care of your kids for you? I've seen a situation whereby the husband needs to stop working or the wife needs to stop working just because somebody needs to take care of their kid. And don't forget that in Canada, yeah, the cost of daycare, it's very, very huge. It's very, very alarming. So that's why you need your parents, you need your grandparents to come into Canada to come and help you out, guys. Visitors visa is not enough for your parents. You can actually elongate the time they spend with you by applying for the sponsorship for your parents. So that's another avenue for you to bring in your parents or grandparents into Canada. For additional information, guys, check the link in this video. Look at my previous videos, guys. You can also bring your parents into Canada too. Now, next on my list will be I've talked about spousal sponsorship. I've talked about parental sponsorship, and also now I'm talking about the open spouses permit. And that was the avenue I used to bring my wife into Canada, guys. You can also use it. Are you studying presently in Canada? Are you working presently in Canada? You can also sponsor your spouse to join you in Canada. So all you need if you're studying is your study permit, your letter from your school that shows that you're presently in school, proof of finance, proof of fund. You need to have sufficient fund, ties to your spouse. These are what you need. And even if you're working, you need proof of fund, employment letter from your organization that shows you're presently working, your biodata page, information about you and your wife, your titles, your marriage certificate. These are what you need, guys. Don't delay, guys. 2019 came in and that's gone, guys. 2020, don't let it just pass you by, guys. You can come into Canada. You can bring your parents to Canada, spouse, family, you can bring them into Canada. Tons and tons of avenue, guys, for you to bring them into Canada. Another avenue for people to migrate into Canada is through asylum filing, refugee. Some people, wherever they are back home, wherever they are outside Canada, they are facing humiliation, violation, threat to their lives. I've seen a lot of people come into Canada through the filing for refugee and asylum to come into Canada. If you're so lucky, if your case is genuine and you can prove that with a lawyer that your life is endangered, you can also migrate into Canada and become a permanent resident. That's another opportunity for you to come into Canada, guys. You might, if this is applicable to you guys, you might want to tap into this. File for asylum at the port of entry when you come into Canada. Get your lawyer, make your case known as far as genuine, and you can prove it beyond reasonable doubt. You can also become a permanent resident in Canada. Summarize everything, guys. I've just told you about the numerous ways that you can migrate into Canada in this year 2020. There are tons and tons of ways you can migrate into Canada. Guys, I just want to advise somebody out there listening to me today that you don't have to be stereotyped about this. You don't just have to continue to look at one direction. Or now you can migrate into Canada. You can come into Canada through study, work permit, visitors permit, provincial nominee, express entry, filing for asylum, sponsorship, open work permit, numerous ways for you to go home into Canada, guys. Just take advantage of anyone that is applicable for you and be determined towards it. If you need additional information, I'll be linking some website where you can get additional information in this video. And also, I've done tons and tons of videos in the past. Feel free to go on Google too and make your own additional research, guys. Don't forget, I always tell you that I'm not an immigration officer. I just like to dish out information. Alright, guys, I'll be going to the think about this segment where I always drop it. You guys ponder on it, you work on it, and it always works for you. Alright, viewers, on the think about this segment, I've got this wonderful quote that simply says, nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity. Nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity. Guys, this is very deep. This is straightforward, guys. You need to take advantage of all the opportunities that comes your way, guys. 2019 came, it's gone. You didn't take advantage of your opportunity to come into Canada, guys. 2020 is just starting, guys. Take advantage of the opportunities that come your way. I've given you plethoras of ways that you can use to migrate into Canada, guys. Take advantage of the opportunity. All you have to do is just be diligent and be steadfast towards it, guys. Opportunities, don't forget, comes but once, guys. You can afford not to take advantage of the opportunities that come your way, guys. All right, guys, it's been real. I've been keeping it real with you guys. Still your own boy, MC Bernardino. If you have any question, anything you're not clear about based on what I've said today, guys, feel free to drop it in the comment section below. For your questions, for your answers, anything you want to know about, drop it in the comment section below. I will revert back to you guys. If you really enjoyed this video, once again, hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Share this video with the loved ones on your Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. Share this video, guys, till I come back to you guys with another wonderful video. Guys, don't forget, I'll be doing the draw for the 3 winners on my giveaway on December 31st. So guys, watch out for the video. Till I come back to you guys, still your own boy, MC Bernardino. Guys, stay out of crime. Subscribe to this channel.